Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can see from my face, I'm here with another Get Ready With Me. I have recently rolled in my Product Level Up Level 5 palette, which is the Love Nose palette. So this is a palette where I have to use every single shade now 5 times and hit 5 pans. It is quite a large palette. It's a 20-pan palette, so it's going to probably take some time to get through this in the project. But I thought I would do a palette bingo with this palette just to get some use out of it and also to, boost my creativity and that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I think I'm going to roll in like 5 or 6 shades depending on what I get. This one has a lot of lighter shades on the top, so if I only get like the light shades, then I might continue rolling. We'll just see how it goes, but my aim is like at least 5 shades. So that is going to be what I'm doing today. So I'm going to jump straight into it and randomize the shadows. But before I do so, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So I have pretty random right here, and I have put in 1 to 20. So we're going to go ahead and pick the first shade, which is going to be 20, which is the last shade in the palette. Okay, so that is the one of the darker shades. It's the shade Ruby right down here, so that is going to be our first shadow. And there we have that shade, so that is shade number 1. Let's go ahead and pick number 2. It's going to be 3. I think that's another, no, actually I think that's a shimmer. I think that's the shade Chandelier, but let's check. Yes, it is. It's the shimmer on the top row right there, and I have swatched it out underneath Ruby, so it's the one right there. That is the second shade. For shade number 3, we're gonna have 15. Okay, so I don't have to worry about just getting light shades, because the next shade we got is also a shimmer, but it's one of the, I think the darkest shimmer in the palette, which is the shade right here called Cupid. So that is the shade right there, and I have swatched out right below Chandelier, so that is my color story so far. Okay, we're gonna keep going and get 2 more shades at least. We got 17. Okay, so that is where we break up the color story a little bit. We got 17, which is the shade Spark right down there. It's the purple shimmer on the bottom row, and I have swatched out right down there. So we're getting some purple into the color story and not just like the reddy tones. So that is it right there. Let me roll the last shade. Okay, I can see that it's currently on 12 because I must have accidentally randomized when I put my phone down. Because if you shake it, obviously, then you randomize. But I'm going to randomize anyway. I'm not going to go with 12 because it's more fun to randomize on camera. We got 11, so let me check what that is. Yeah, I just did it again. It's just so sensitive now when I put it down. I don't think the app used to be that sensitive, but we got 11 anyway, and that is another shimmer. It is this shimmer right there, and that one is called Pillow. And there we have that shade right there. I just realized we only have one matte, which is that really deep matte on the top. Does that mean I want to randomize again? What's the odds of me getting... You know what? I'm going to randomize again, but I'm going to only randomize until I get a matte. So again, I'm going to skip over what I just rolled, but if I get another shimmer, I'm going to skip over that. I just want one more matte, so let me go ahead and randomize. We get 19. 19 is a shimmer. It is the shimmer on the bottom row next to Ruby. So it's this one right here. So I'm going to skip over that one because, again, I just want another matte. So let me randomize again. We get 7. 7 is another shimmer. I'm going to show you in a second, but it's the shade Candlestick, another shimmer. Clearly, they just want me to do shimmers today. 2. Okay, 2 is not... Okay, 2 is not a shimmer, but it is a very boring matte. But it might be helpful, actually. So let me just show you what I just rolled. So 7 was this shade right here, another shimmer. But shade number 2 is this shade here, which is just like a beige setting shade. But it might mean that I can blend out that deeper shade with that shadow. So yeah, I think that will work. I'm just swatching it out for you. So that is it at the bottom right there. It is just like a creamy matte. So those are going to be my 6 shades. Not necessarily what I wanted for matte, but it will work because I can use that to blend out the shade Ruby. So let me go ahead and prime my eyes, and I will be right back. Okay, so there we are primed, and I'm going to start with the shade Ruby, which is that deepest matte shade. And I'm going to start by putting that in my outer corner and then up into my crease. And actually, it seems to be blending quite nicely already, just by placing it down. I was a bit worried about this shade, but yeah, it seems to be blending quite nicely. let me just do that the same on the other eye, then we're gonna start blending more. Okay, so there we have the shape. I'm just going to continue using the same brush without adding any more product, and just continue blending upwards a little bit. I feel like this eye is more blended than the other, but I'm going to go in with that lightest shade Cotton and just take this side down a tiny bit, because again, I feel like this one is not as blended, but adding that shade is definitely going to do the trick. Okay, something like that, and I'm going to go in again with the shade Ruby and just build it up a tiny bit in the crease. I'm actually going to do the same on this eye, build it up in the crease. Okay, I've gone between those two shades to get as seamless of a blend as I can. So again, we have used the shade Ruby and the shade Cotton, and that's the two mattes. So I think I'm pretty happy with it for now. I think maybe just take it down a tiny bit out here, because I feel like this eye goes further out on the corner. Yeah, I think something like that. So that's gonna what I'm gonna do for that shadow. It has a little bit of fallout, as you can see down here. And I will cover that up with my foundation later. I'm just gonna use my beauty blender to see if I have any concealer left on it, just so you don't have to stare at that fallout. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So let me move into the shimmers. So I put some glitter glue down, and it comes down to the shimmers next and what I want to do with them. I feel like this shade here would look really, really pretty on the top top lid. This one in my corner. I'm a bit thrown off with the purple. Maybe I can do that as a liner or on my lower lash line. But what I'm going to do first is take the shade Pillow, and I'm going to place that on my lid, my center and outer lid, because I feel like, yeah, that one contrasts really nicely with the reds. Such a beautiful shade. And we have something like that. I'm going to take the shade Cupid, which is the red shimmer, and I'm just going to place that in between the red matte and that lighter shimmer, just to get a little bit more of a blend and also to incorporate that shade. And there we have that shadow. So far I have reached for this shade, this shade, this shade, and this shade. So the only shades where I have to reach for is the purple and this one right here, which is the more of an inner corner shade. So of course I'm going to put the inner corner shade on the inner corner, but again, it comes down to the purple. So I feel like it will definitely throw off the look. I really like how this one is looking, but I need to incorporate the purple somehow. And I think it makes most sense. So I'm just adding a little bit more of that light shimmer. And I think it makes most sense to add it in on my lower lash line in this look. I think that's what I'm going to do. So because of that, since I only have my inner corner and my lower lash line left, I'm going to go off camera, do the rest of my makeup, and then I will be right back to finish up the look. So I'm back and I have finished up the rest of my makeup. I did my brows, my face, and my lips. So this is what the look looks like at the moment. So we have two more shades to use, and we're going to go in with the shade Chandelier first, which is that in the corner shade, and I'm just going to put that on my inner corner, of course. So it's an easy kind of cop out shade because it works perfectly on the inner corner. And we have something like that, which is great. And then that means we only have one shade left, which is that purple shade right there, which I'm going to put again on my lower lash line. So I'm picking up Spark on a brush, and I'm going to try not to cover it up, but I'm going to put that on my lower lash line, something like that. And I think there we have it. That is the look. And again, this is the color story. So what I did again is this shade on my crease and outer corner, blended it out with this cream shade. I took this kind of red, it's supposed to be a shimmer, but it looks more like a satin on like in between my outer corner and the shimmer shade, which is the majority, this shade right here all over my lid. I put this shade on my inner corner and this shade on my lower lash line, and again, that is the look. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. Let me zoom out and we're gonna wrap up the video. So there we have the look. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm also happy that I got some deeper shades. It's actually a little bit more of a smokier look, which I think is quite nice because this palette it does run very light, and I like that normally. But for palette bingo, I wanted to do something a bit more out there, and I'm happy with what I ended up randomizing. So yeah, this is what the look that I made with this palette. I never done this look before, but I really love how it turned out. These are tones that I absolutely adore, so I'm not surprised that I like it. And yeah, this is of course what the palette looks like. So far in my product level up, I only filmed that like 2 days ago. I've only really used the 6 shades, sorry, today. And I also used cotton yesterday, just one extra time. So still has a lot of work to do in here. I do, of course, need to hit 5 pans as well, so it's gonna take some work. But I'm excited to work with this palette because I do like the tones and the looks that I make from it. So hopefully it won't be too much of a struggle. But I'm gonna wrap up the video here. I hope you enjoyed this Get Ready With Me, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you want me to keep doing these like project level up palette bingos whenever I roll in a new palette, or if you have any other suggestions for palette bingo or Get Ready With Me or anything like that. I do have one video planned. I think end of July I have another kind of Get Ready With Me palette bingo planned, but it's going to be different than this. But if you have any ideas for any Get Ready With Me, let me know, because I would love to do them. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to wrap up the video here. I hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys.